played a long time in the NBA, obviously with the Knicks, the Clippers, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Suns. Like between you and Vince Carter, y'all probably got all 31 teams locked down with uniforms.
For real.
But
right.
Out of all the teammates that you played with, who did you enjoy playing with the most? Like, who's your favorite teammate to just on and off the court?
Man, I had some real life legends. Like, I'm gonna say this: I played with Scottie Pippen his last year. Like in Chicago, I grew up watching the Bulls, like I talked about. But so I got so much game from them. I played with a Grant Hill. I played with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin in their prime. And playing with those dudes especially was really special because at that time, I know you're a Laker guy. I know it. But we was dogging the Lakers. And I was with the Clippers in that run. And we felt like we had a chance to win a championship. So playing with those two, especially in Lob City, I felt like was probably like the peak of everything. It was the peak of how we were playing. Obviously being in LA, obviously we weren't the Lakers, but we were trying to make our own claim. So I'm gonna say those two right there because I was at a different point in my career as well. So I think being in the Clippers was like a sweet spot for all of us. I wish we could have did it again.
So you was named NBA Sixth Man of the Year 3 times, tied with Lou Williams along the way. Mm-hmm. If you had a 6-man Mount Rushmore, who would go on that 6-man Mount Rushmore besides yourself?
See, I don't even put myself there because that gives me a spot. I always take myself off the list. So I'm
That's
gonna say,
fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lou, Manu, Kevin McHale.
But is McHale really a 6-man? Because he started.
He got two awards. He got 2 of them. That's the only thing. He started a lot. Right.
But he started a lot.
Okay, well, if we taking out the ones who started a lot too, okay, I'm gonna say Lou, Manu. I'm gonna go Lamar Odom. I'm gonna throw one of your Lakers in there.
I like that.
I'm gonna throw Lamar in there, show him some love, and then I'm gonna go with someone nobody talks about as a 6-man who was cold for that stint, Ben Gordon. I'm gonna say Ben Gordon to that.
Ben Gordon, okay.
Yeah, that messed Key up right there. He wasn't thinking I was going Ben Gordon on that
one. What about Artest? But he started a lot too, though, huh?
He started a lot too. I gave you one Lakers. See, look at you trying to politic for another Laker. I gave you one. I said Lamar.
No, Lamar, but Low started too, though. In Miami, it's just Clips.
Yeah. Okay, so Lou, Manu. They'll put myself back in there, man. Us 3. And then Lil Key, who you got? Who's one we got? Who we missing?
Well, I was gonna say James Harden, but you guys said no, like
he started a lot.
Starting,
yeah. You can't go back to man, come on, Keyshawn, boy. You can't go back to OKC.
So I'm gonna say Gordon then. He didn't start a lot. Okay. And he got.
Well, my question was, how come you couldn't be, and I mean this in the most respectful way, how come you couldn't be like a 5th man? Like, was it a talent gap or like the opportunity standpoint? Like, what do you think?
Great question. No, that's a great question. What happened was, at that time in the league, like it wasn't positionless basketball. It was none of that. You were your position. And not that winning was more prevalent, but they put you in a box if you lost. It was like, oh, he's a good scorer, but on bad teams, right? So I started averaging. I learned to get 20 points a game, 19 and a half. I almost averaged like accumulatively through 20 for 3 straight years. But I was my 10th year in the league. And so I always have won. When I was a kid in high school, when I played college, like I've always won. So I was never comfortable with being a dude that scored a lot that didn't win. So I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I got to come off the bench. I don't care what it is. I need to change the narrative of I'm a loser because that's not who I am. And I was so confident in my skills. I'm like, I could still go do what I do just off the bench. I love new challenges. And as fate would have it, I got traded to Atlanta at the time. And they had just went to the playoffs and they had their starting 5 in place. So it's almost like a perfect transition. And when I went, it was a little weird at first. But then I was like, you know what? Going into the season, I want to, if we're playing hoops in the summer, I will wait 2 or 3 games and then put myself in, just to put myself in that mindset that I wasn't going to be starting when the action started. But I had to trick myself and say, you know what? Now, the show ain't started till I got in. Now Superman's coming to say the show, and I still averaged 18, 19, and it took on a life of its own because I didn't know kids later on be like, man, it's all right to come off the bench. We can still go do our thing. And that's what's cool about having that kind of legacy.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget,
to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.